So now we're going to solve this quadratic formula, solve this quadratic equation by using the quadratic formula. The quadratic formula is written on the right-hand side. It says negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, all divided by 2a. It is to your benefit to memorize that. But your steps are 1 through 5. First it says z equals 0. Then you have to get your a, b, and c correctly. Put those numbers into the formula. Do the radical all the way first, then put that back into your fraction, and then simplify the fraction. So, first thing we want to do is set it equal to 0, so I'm going to subtract 11 on both sides. Gives me x squared plus 4x minus 11 equals 0. Alright, next I want to get my a, b, and c. A is 1. B is positive 4, and C is negative 11. Okay, so now I'm going to take my values and put them into my formula. It's going to be negative B, so that's negative 4, plus minus is part of the formula, B squared minus 4 times A times C, all over 2 times A. Okay, so now the numbers are in the formula. I'm going to take the radical and simplify it all the way first. I'm going to move it away from my problem into my scratch paper and do my radical all the way. Okay, so 4 squared is 16, and then I have minus negative 44, because when I do 4 times 1 times negative 11, I get minus negative 44, which is going to be plus 44. And so that's going to give me the square root of 60. Now I have to simplify this. So that's 6 times 10, that's 2 times 3, 2 times 5. The 2's come out, and 3 and 5 make 15. So the simplified radicals all the way. And then we'll go put that back in my problem. So it'll be a negative 4 plus or minus 2 square roots of 15 all over 2. Okay, so I did this pretty quickly. Put the numbers in the formula, did the radical all the way down to 2 square roots of 15, and now put it back into the formula. And now I'm going to redo my fraction. My fraction can be reduced by 2. And so that would be a negative 2 plus or minus 1 square root of 15 over 1. I don't need the 1 on the bottom, nor do I need the 1 on the top. So my official answer is negative 2 plus or minus the square root of 15. Okay, I got another one here. The steps are still the same. Set equal to 0. Get a, b, and c, put into the formula, do the radical all the way, do the fraction. So first thing I need to make it say equals 0, so I'm going to subtract 4x on both sides, and I'm going to subtract 2 on both sides. And that's going to give me 9x squared minus 4x minus 2 equals 0. So that means my a is 9. My b is negative 4, and my c is negative 2. Alright, so now I'll take those three numbers and put them into my formula. So I have x equals negative b, so that's negative negative 4, plus or minus the square root of b squared, so that's negative 4 squared, minus 4 times 9 times negative 2, all over 2 times 9. Okay, we'll do the radical all the way. So let's go down here and do my radical. Negative 4 squared is 16, and that's going to be a plus because it's minus a negative 72. It's minus negative 72, so that's going to be a plus 72. Stop the video if you really need to get that. Watch your signs, think it through. It's 16 plus 72. Another way of looking at it is to look at the negative plus times a negative makes a positive. All right, but it is a plus 72. All right, and so then 16 plus 72 is the square root of 88. So we'll break that down. That's 8 times 11. It's 4 times 2 times 11. So that's 2 times 2 times 2 times 11. All right, so let's see. The 2's get out. And 22, so my radical is 2 times the square root of 22. All right, so we got the radical all the way. That's step 4, get the radical all the way. Now we're going to bring that back to our problem over here. Okay, so I got a negative, negative 4, so that's a positive 4. Plus or minus, now my radical is 2 square roots of 22 all over 18. Okay, now this can be reduced by 2. Don't touch the radical. All three of the numbers here, all three of these numbers, let's get that right. All three of those numbers can be reduced by 2. Ignore the radical. You cannot touch the radical. So I reduce all those by 2, and I get the final answer of 2 plus or minus 1 square root of 2 over 9. And again, I don't need that 1. I need that 1, and that's my final answer.